Hey, I'm Andy Aledort. In this edition of In Deep, we're going to continue looking at ways in which to create harmonized guitar lines. This will be another three-part harmonized guitar line. We'll have a melody and then two harmonies put on top of that. It's going to be played over a blues shuffle in the key of D, and melodically the lick is sort of based on big band horn lines of the 50s and 60s you might hear in B.B. King's band or Albert King, something like that. Here we go. All right, let's start with our primary part. And I'm going to capture that in the looper. So here you go. It's going to start like this. It's a shuffle. All right, so here's that part. Okay, so what am I playing? Well, I'm in D, and it's based on D major pentatonic, like, so you've got, that's how it begins. So we have the fifth to the sixth to the root to the second, and that's the pickup, and that's the downbeat of one. And then this fourth. So it's a little turnaround or resolution from the fourth to the third. And then that gets transposed down to G. So this is like the same lick in G, 5, 6, 1, 2, up to the third, and that's the downbeat of bar 5. Back to the 1. And then we go to the 5 chord, so it's like B flat 7 to A7. A7's the 5, and then A flat 7 to G7. G7's the 4. And then C sharp 7 back to D7. And then in G, back to G, 5, 4, 1. Okay, so now let's put our first harmonized line over that. Okay, so that harmonized part, when so you can see already it's a little different because I'm starting on the flat 7. So I'm not just sticking to major pentatonic. So you might say, how did I come up with that line? Well, the first line starts on the 5, so I'm going to start a third above that. So some of the harmony is based on thirds, parallel thirds. So if the first two notes of the melody are A and B, the first two notes of the harmony would be C and D, so it would be like this, or like that. But here's where it changes a little bit, because I went so the third note being D, the third note of the harmony line was a second, so for a second, for a moment, the intervallic distance is seconds instead of thirds, but it sounded better that way to me. So then that goes to a fourth. So that fourth is back to a harmony of a thirds. So you could look at it like, and then it's going to go to that. So it's a little unusual. So that whole line. So I'm going to slide to the fifth and then the root on top to the sixth. And then that gets transposed down to G. So same thing, you go flat 7 to the root, to the fourth. Back here. And then this here, that's just harmonizing against, which is this. So it becomes like this when you put them together. That's, and then this. All right, now let's listen to those two together. Okay, cool. So now we're going to add the third part on top of that. And so our initial melody started on the 5, so the first harmony started on the flat 7, thirds. So if we go a third above the flat 7, we get the 9th or the 2nd, and that's where the third harmony will come in. And that's going to go like this. Okay, so that lick so it's an unusual line. And then that gets transposed to G, back to D. And then here, I do that to make it like a B flat 9 to A9. And then A flat 9 to G9. And it ends like that. So there's your 3-part harmonized lick in that sort of 50s, 60s style of horn big bands.